Today's video is over box plots. So box plots are a way to show values from a data set in a visual representation. So it shows us how the data values are distributed or how they're spread out. So it's taking these numbers and putting them into a picture format. And it allows us to compare different data sets very easily and things like that. So I'm gonna show you the steps that you're gonna take to create a box plot, and then we're gonna make one. So I've broken down 6 steps that you can take to create a box plot. So follow along in your notes and fill in the blanks. The first step is to order the data values from least to greatest. All right. Next, we're going to find the median, which is our middle value. That's one of your vocab words. Next, we're going to find the middle of the lower half. So this is called the lower quartile. So once we find the median, once we find the middle, we're going to look at the lower half of the numbers, the bottom half of the numbers, and we're going to find the middle of that set. All right, then we're going to find the middle of the upper half of the numbers, and that's called the upper quartile. So the same thing, the top half of the numbers, we're going to find the middle of that, and that's the upper quartile. Then we identify the least and greatest values, and then we're going to plot these points on a number line. Okay, so we put all, the median, lower quartile, upper quartile, least and greatest. So that's 5 values that we're going to place onto our number line. And we're going to put a box around the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile. And then the least and the greatest values connect back to the box with whiskers. So if you look back at this picture, this is our least, this is our greatest, this is our lower quartile, our upper quartile, and our median. Okay, so that's the way it's going to be set up, and I'll show you that as we make our own. All right. 2 other vocab words that you have for this week are range and the inner quartile range. Okay, the range is the greatest value minus the least value. Greatest value minus the least value. So we can find that by taking basically the biggest number and you subtract the smallest number, and that number that's left over tells you how far apart your data is spread out. Then we have the inner quartile range, and this is the range between the quartiles, so between the upper and lower quartiles. So we subtract those 2 values, the upper quartile minus the lower quartile, and so that basically tells you how big your box is in the box plot. All right, so now we're going to make one on our own. So I have these exact same steps listed here, and then I have this set of numbers that are on your notes. So we're going to follow the steps. Okay, first thing we need to do is order the data values from least to greatest. All my typos are on this in this picture. All right, so the smallest number I see is the number 2, so I'm going to put that first. I see another 2, so that one. Looks like 3 is next. 5, 6, and 6, 8, 10, and 11. All right, so write those values out. Give yourself a little bit of space between the numbers. All right, now we're going to find the median. Now, I don't want you crossing things out because a lot of these numbers are going to be used. We need to be able to read them. So just put dots or something so you can identify where your median is, okay? So we go from the least to greatest, and we find our middle value. All right, so I've got 4 numbers on the left, 4 numbers on the right, which means this 6 right here is our median. Median. It's the middle, so that's number 6. Now we need to find the middle of the lower half. Okay, so looking at these numbers right here, this is your lower half. We're going to find the middle of these. Okay, so again, finding the middle involves us going back and forth, and it looks like our middle is between 2 and 3. Okay, so our LQ, our lower quartile, is halfway between 2 and 3, and that would be the number 2.5. Then we do the same thing for the upper quartile. These 4 over here on this side of the median, the right side of the median, we find the middle. And when we go back and forth, it looks like right between 8 and 10. Well, the number that exists between 8 and 10 is the number 9. So the upper quartile is, well, P. The upper quartile is 9. All right, then step 5, we need to identify the least and greatest values. All right, our least value is the number 2, and our greatest value is the number 11. All right, now we're ready to graph these things on a number line. Okay, I'm going to have to squeeze it in here at the bottom. So my number line obviously needs to go at least from 2 to 11 because that's my range. So I'm going to start at 1 and go to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Come on. All right, now we plot these points on the number line. Okay, so, and it's going to be kind of above the number line. It hovers above it. So my least value is 2. I'm going to put dot for 2. My lower quartile is 2.5, so right between 2 and 3, another one. My median is at 6. My upper quartile is at 9. And my greatest value is at 11. All right, so now we're going to create a box. The edge of the box starts at the lower quartile, and then it goes all the way down to the upper quartile, and it surrounds that median. And a lot of times you're going to see a line where the median is in the middle of the box. All right, and then we connect the least value to the box with a whisker, and the greatest value connects to the box with a whisker. And there we go, we've made our box plot. Now I want to find the range of this box plot. So my range, remember, is the greatest value minus the least value. So that would be 11 minus 2, which equals 9. And then my IQR, my inner quartile range, is my upper quartile minus my lower quartile. So that's the number 9 minus 2.5. And then if I were to subtract that, I would get 6.5. All right, so tomorrow we're going to be practicing this together as a class, and you'll have lots of practice in making box plots.